Welcome, everyone, to the 4th episode of the Migtown podcast. As usual, I'm producer Tim. With me is Drexel. Hey, Drex, have you ever fucked up so badly that you wanted to hang yourself in the middle of recording a podcast episode?
I haven't, but you have, because it's Christmas. And what do you people do on Christmas, especially Canadians? They fuck up and ruin a whole half episode.
So this is our second take of this episode. Our second take. Why?
Yeah, shout out to Dogsplained, though. Yeah, we got to go ahead and shut him out because he's the one who caught that we weren't actually recording for 45 minutes.
Yeah. The recorder somehow failed. I don't know what happened.
Oh, man. Technical difficulties. But yeah, we're glad that you're with us here for Christmas Day. And, under your present, or under your tree, is a group of presents. And, of course, this, along with the centerpiece of the 12 Days of Thotmas, episode 1, of course, is the infamous Thad story. So, yeah, hopefully, listen to that and let us know what you think in the comments section of that video, this video. And there's going to be more series of things. It won't be 12-part episodes, but I'm going to have a Never Stick Your Dick in Crazy series. And I think that, Tim, that'd be a great call-in, though, wouldn't it? A never, like a guy who did stick his dick in crazy and have a call like, oh, you won't even believe this shit.
I was thinking maybe bring Dollhouse Phil in for that one.
Oh, God, that'd be great, man.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, well, because, okay, so for those who don't know, we have established email contact with Dollhouse Phil. We're just, the Christmas break is hectic. I've got to edit all the 12 Days of Thotmas. So I told Phil, hey, we'll link up after Christmas, after Boxing Day, and we'll set a date and time. A few things I'm kicking around. Maybe a New Year's stream, right? For all our friends out there. Because he's across the pond, so he'll hit New Year's before us. So maybe if we start a few hours before New Year's, shoot the shit, maybe count down to the Central Time Zone version of New Year's, which is an hour before me. I get to experience it twice. Isn't that wonderful? And also, dropping on December 25th, today, is the bonus episode 1 for $5 and above patrons or subscribe stars of the Migtown podcast. That is the episode featuring Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law and Ken Jennings of Kiwi Farms. We had a lot of fun on that show dissecting Nick's thoughtery. If you didn't see it, Nick did a celebration for 10,000 followers on Twitch. He did a thought e-stream on Twitch, complete with booty shorts and everything. Full spreadies abound, as they call it.
I mean, I think Lady Rackets might be done with them.
We did a psychoanalysis of Maddox when he wrote the breakup letter to 80s Girl. We did a psychoanalysis of Melinda Scott, the mountain Jew who called into Nick's show. It's a great episode. We had a lot of fun.
I'm just curious why she's called the Mountain Jew.
Oh, someone will explain it to you, I'm sure. Explain to Drex in the comments why she's called the Mountain Jew. But
when people get these like nicknames, and she always kind of like, well, where'd that come from?
Oh no, there's a story behind it. I just I don't want to spoil it right now, but the part of the adventure is always finding these things out, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's been a disturbing week, man. What can I say, man? The storms and everything else and shit. Everyone's getting bogged down with those last second Christmas gift shopping and everything else. So hopefully everybody's gotten through that and people have opened up their presents and they're happy and everyone's with their family or not with their family because they usually can't stand them. But as long as everybody's happy, man, I'm happy.
Yeah, that's the favorite thing about Zoom calls is you can mute. You can mute yourself.
You know what? I think a lot of people are going to just start using that as like a cover, right? Like, I can't stand my damn family. Thank God for social distancing.
Yep. Because that nose resembles Mount Everest. Okay, be nice.
Oh man, that's
anyways.
Classic.
So we've got a great show lined up for everyone today. We're going to talk some news. We're going to bring in some comments from the 12 Days of Thotmas, go through some emails, and then just wrap it up because, look, we are 1 month into this endeavor, right? A month ago, I approached Drexel about doing this endeavor. What did you think? Drexel, at the time, what did you think would come out of it? Did you think we'd be lining up Dollhouse Phil? Did you think we'd be getting shout-outs on Coach Greg Adams?
I mean, Dollhouse Phil, yeah, because, I've done work with him before on Nick's show. But the shout out on Coach Greg Adams really shocked me. I'm not, because, I'm a huge fan of his, right? And it shocked me. I was like, holy shit. They shouted us out on Coach Greg Adams. He's got what, like 140,000 subs. And, hopefully I can do a show with those guys. Him, Joker, Better Bachelor, Terrence Pop. I think he's in the Doghouse, because of Susan. Hey, shout out to my man, Bad Pop. Don't worry. Hey, Bad Pop, man, I got your back. I'm going to ride or die with you. I know that you're, a serviceman, and you got bent over by the family court, now bent over by Susan, but Susan's back will be blown out by yours truly, and I'm gonna get you back on YouTube and everything else, and your whole Redonkulous crew. I love you guys. I love your work, and anyone else out there who's been like deplatformed, right? Ken Del Rican, a lot of those other guys, Hammerhand, Mr. Elite. There's been a lot of guys that have been who had to leave or they got deplatformed, demonetized. I'm up here for all these guys, man. All these masculine presenting transgender lesbians, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blow Susan's back out to get all you guys back on in her good graces, man. It's all good.
Susan, hit us up. I'm telling you.
Hit us up. Yeah. Look, man, look, and you know what? And I'm not even going to put her on the Thotmas series. Like, Susan, whatever we do is going to be between me and you. And I mean, everyone else is going to know because all of a sudden guys are going to start getting back on YouTube that no one thought would ever be back. They're like, Turfling and Monkey? Where the fuck did he's back? He's back because Susan got that back blown out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring him back, man. But Tim, I think starting off a show talking about blowing Susan's back out, I think the only thing more disturbing than that, and Nick's Twitch ethottery, right, is I gave you a story about a very particular 69-year-old woman. That's how I wanted to, have that image in you guys' head. So, we start off your Christmas with 69-year-old Mistress Sofia, because I know I got some nasty people out there, right? I think basically 100% of my audience is Ashley Judd, right? Do you remember that whole I'm a nasty woman? And I think that we have those right here on the Migtown podcast. And you guys like hearing about a 69-year-old fucking dominatrix. Because you know what, Tim? I know that I do, like in an alternate reality. So we're gonna get right into it, man. This is from the morning show, written by Caitlin Peak and Hamish Goodall, published September 12th this year.
Does Hamish Goodall not sound like a power bottom?
Yeah, I need to start Googling these people to find out, like, is this a man, a woman? Is it, what do they look like? Because
Hamish is a male name for sure.
Is it a male name? Okay.
Yeah. Hamish sometimes is
Hamish.
the alternate pronunciation.
Oh,
Hamish.
Okay. I learned something new today.
Yeah, that's a male name. I think it's Middle Eastern.
I think so too. It sounds like it. Well, I mean, he had to write this article, so hopefully he Zoom called this broad because I wouldn't want to be near her. But we're going to get into the article. And this is from, like I said, the morning show. We're going to get right into it. Most people in their 60s start to take things slow and wind down. But for Sherry Lever, a.k.a. Mistress Sofia, her life was only just started. After her husband of 25 years left her, allegedly, the 69-year-old British... Yeah, I wonder why. The 69-year-old British grandmother reached for some lace-up leather heels and became a dominatrix. She says, "It started simply because I needed to make some extra money and I'd gone through a very bad divorce," the former chef explained on the morning show.
Like, Drex, I remember the one time I separated from my ex-girlfriend, and then I joined the Village People right after. It's as you do.
Yeah, I mean, look, pegging's not for everybody, but if it's for you, at least you can say, I'm no longer an asshole, right? You're just the asshole who got fucking pegged.
Interesting choice of words.
Right? Yeah, phrasing. And I'm looking at this right here as the story goes on. It says she discovered the dominatrix profession after quote unquote watching a documentary and discovering that she was quote unquote very dominant. However, those urges had long been quote unquote subdued. Sure.
Sure.
Mistress Sofia charges men upwards of $220 an hour to humiliate them, quote unquote, including making them clean her home, walking them outside, and forcing them to undergo everyday tasks while wearing costumes and masks. She explained there is, quote unquote, no type of man who likes to be submissive, explained that her clients range from a high court judge down to a dustman. Now, let me ask you something, Tim. She says that there's no type of man that likes to be submissive, right? Like no particular type. Can you tell me if you just had to just go on a limb, what kind of man likes to be submissive?
Simps.
Simpson beta male cuck bitch fucking manginas like to be submissive and have women beat them and dress them up in pantyhose and costumes and walk around. Okay,
Yeah.
that's who. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna answer that
banana
question
dogs.
for her. Yeah, right. And the article goes on in this last paragraph to say the dominatrix has now even started mentoring other up and coming doms, saying she wished she had someone to show her the ropes when she started. It's very important with something like whipping. You can't just pick up a cane and go caning because there are places you can't cane, she explained. You have to know what you're doing because you can damage somebody. And it goes on to have her pictures. I'm sure, links to her thing, her new book, right? She has a risque new book. And, this whole thing, I'm opening up this new year. We go into 2021 on this glorious Christmas day. I want you guys to open up every present from me today. And I hope that the guys out there who haven't found their masculinity, their identity, their sense of self, their fucking backbone because they have jelly for a spine. I hope that these kinds of stories, along with Nick and I roasting Fluffy, can help you bring in a new resolution for 2021 to be masculine. Because guess what? When you're masculine and you're not getting bent over in women's lingerie, you're going to wind up smashing chicks that are a lot younger than 69 who are telling you what to do. Okay. Just a
Yeah.
thought. And Tim, can you
You
believe that
can't even
this is where
blame
we've gotten?
her,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay, okay. I can't make that clear enough. I don't blame her at all. It's the simps. You're
She's just taking simp money. That's all she's doing.
and more power to her, right? We need like a little applause,
Okay, that sounded like a
sound
low
effect.
key masturbation, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
I
cut
just
that out. Don't
noticed that
worry.
as I clapped. I'm kind of like, it really sounded like someone was slapping. It sounded like some ball slapping. But yeah, we've gotten to that point where you listen to these stories, right? And shout out to my man Donovan Sharp for doing that story on 83-year-old Hattie, who said, "I think I'm done with Tinder." You think you're done at 83? Like
I got news for you, lady. You were done
now?
40 years ago.
60, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, but here's the thing: you can't blame Hattie. Think about it. How thirsty does a guy need to be to go with an 83-year-old Hattie, right? How ridiculous and pathetic does a dude need to be to get ordered around and put into lingerie by a 69-year-old fucking female dominatrix, right? I mean, I don't know, Tim. A part of me loses like all hope for society, but the more I say that, the more I keep seeing like other articles that are like more disturbing, right? And you kind of sit there and look, like I said, we got the Martin Shkreli article here from the Vancouver Sun about, the reporter, Christy Smythe. She left her husband and her quote unquote perfect life for jailed pharma bro fraudster Martin Shkreli. And, the article goes on to explain that, she ended up, you know, interviewing him basically, like, getting his story and, he's a master manipulator and she kind of fell for him, allegedly, right? More monkey branching thoughts. But you look at everything that's going on, and could you imagine losing your wife to a dude who's sitting behind bars, right? He's serving like a 7-year sentence, right? Could you imagine that, Tim? Like your wife is like, "I'm leaving you," and you're like, oh, you're leaving me for fucking Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos? No, I'm leaving you for a dude who's in prison.
And you know what? It makes me sad because this story is all too common. We talked
Very
about this
common.
before the show, right? Like, how many men would get with Casey Anthony?
At this point, very few.
Very few. And
Yep.
look, there's always an exception to every rule, but that doesn't invalidate the rule.
Absolutely not. Very few. But when it comes to how many women would get with the Menendez brothers, Scott Peterson, all that, tons. So when I look at these stories,
You know, for the Canadian listeners, I think someone proposed to Paul Bernardo. If you don't know who Paul Bernardo is, look it up, but also don't look it up if you have daughters.
that bad, huh?
Yeah, he is a monster in every sense of the word.
Well, I mean, you know, in decent societies in the past, they just put monsters down with things like the Judas cradle and other medieval torture methods. But now, you know, we live in a cucked beta society that is all about getting money, right?
Well, depends on your philosophy, right? Is the sweet release of death mercy or is it punishment?
No, so remember, you have to make it as painful as humanly possible, right? And it has to be completely visually devastating for non-perpetrators, right?
Pain doesn't work on people like that, though. Like complete psychopaths, and this guy's would definitely qualify. Um, One who just can't empathize with the feelings of anyone else. He has no
Those
clue
people
the
still
harm he
they
does.
still experience pain. Trust me. These
They do,
people,
but it doesn't work on them.
no. So here's the thing: they may not experience remorse, but they do experience physical pain. You see what I'm saying? Like if you ask them, stick your hand in a deep fryer, they're gonna be like, no. Why? Well, because it fucking hurts like hell, right? So these people do experience pain. Where people get confused with these types of sociopaths is that, remember, lack of empathy is normally directed toward whom? Everyone else, right? Like,
Yeah.
a mobster can go kill 30 people and it means nothing, right? But yet,
But
if,
you kill his son,
oh, this is the worst thing ever, I'm so hurt, I need to do something. See? And they don't
yeah,
see the correlation, right?
yeah.
There's a cognitive dissonance there. Like, yeah, well, guess what? What you're doing is causing the same hurt to someone else because they don't possess empathy. Well, there you go.
I'm just saying, unless you believe in the eternal damnation of hell, death is even after a lot of pain, the death is still mercy compared to just sitting the rest of your life. And like Paul Bernardo was very young when he did these crimes, sitting in a jail cell for 60 plus years. In my mind, it's more torture than just killing him.
Oh, yeah, I see where you're going with that. But like, my thing is this: do you want to spend that much taxpayer money?
Oh, come on. You just print more of it anyways. Money machine goes burr, Drex.
Right?
Come on. Anytime a government department is like, I don't know if we got enough money for that one, it means they don't want to do it. It means that it's not part of their priorities. They don't want to get it done because no government ever in the history of any time has ever said, oh, look, we don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can always print. I mean, until you become Venezuela. But yeah, you can always just
And
print
they're still
money.
printing, right?
Correct.
They're still printing.
Now they're using some different currency, as in, you know, foreign currency, because, you know, socialism collapsed as it always does. But, you know, speaking of socialism, um, you know, you and I talked earlier about social credit, right? And how it's already here. And, you know, they're keeping tabs on everybody as is. And, you know, there's an article, and you and I were discussing this about just how bad this whole social credit thing is, right? And how much control these people really have. You see what I'm saying? And the IMF has an article, right? You know, not the B did an article. The IMF wants banks to use your search and browser history to determine your credit score. And there, you know, Joel Abbott wrote this article December 22nd, and you know, there's a little caption on a little wasp guy here, a little banker looking dude that says, "Sorry, we don't give mortgages to climate change deniers." And this is something that, you know, myself, you, Nick, other people have talked about, right? Because, like you said, it's already here to an extent, as you talked about with Mastercard, right? Like, you said something that's unwoke, right? We're going to deplatform you. That's social credit, right? Because if you say I'm an SJW, SJWs don't get deplatformed, do they?
Yeah, and speaking of, no, they do not. Speaking of MasterCard, look, if you want to find what your social credit score is, go to your credit card right now and see how much credit you have left on it versus your credit limit. Now, if you're someone like me who uses their credit card like a debit card and just pays it off every month, I don't have a lot of limit left on my card. But you will see your worth to society when you look at how much credit you have left on your credit cards.
Yep.
That's your social credit score. It's already here. It has been.
Yep. Yeah, they sell this information. They gather this information, analyze the information, and then sell this information, right? Or barter with it in various forms.
Yeah.
So we're at this point where, and you know what, one of the things that I find real funny though is you have all these people out here who believe, right? This is for the woke crowd that they won't get canceled, right? They're like, oh, it'll never come from me. Tim, can you give them a glimpse into the future? Yeah, I think you're holding a crystal ball right now, right? Can you give them all the woke people a glimpse into the future? What's going to happen?
Oh, it's very simple. Yeah, you're a useful idiot until you're not useful anymore. Then you're
That's
just an
right.
idiot.
Yeah, and once they get what they want, which is power, resources, right? Total
Yeah.
control. What are they going to do to all the woke idiots?
They're going to find a way to deplatform them, just
Yep.
like the rest of us,
Yep.
right?
They're going to get rid of them,
If
right?
you do not make a transgression, like if you are one of the minute number of people who can go through in their entire life without fucking up once, they will still just invent something to fuck you over with.
Yeah. Well, I actually proved that. I was working with a friend of mine, and I think I told this story on Nick's show where I said I actually proved to her that wokeness knows no limit. And I said, I go, all you have to do is just try to be offended at all times of day, right? Even things that have nothing to do with being offended by, right? Just make something up. And I told her, I said, you typing on that keyboard is offensive to me. And so she goes, wait, what? Because I said the white lettering is over the black keys, and that proves white supremacy, right? You see how insane that is, but to the woke crowd, there is no limit, right? There's no limit to the insanity. It's just, oh, we gotta get more woke. So it's just, I don't know, man. It's become such a shit show that all you can do is just be like, well, it is what it is, right? Like you look at what these banks are doing, and you said it yourself, right? There's people out there that said, that's not true, Tim. That's not true. I turned off my location and they don't know anything about me and my social credit. What do you have to say to those people?
Yeah, here. Or the ones that say I'm on a VPN. Nobody knows what I'm up to. Yeah. Let me let you in on a little secret, everyone. First of all, the VPN does not change the fact that you're on a certain website. Your ISP knows where you are. What the VPN does do is change what the website sees. The website itself thinks you're from a different place, but your ISP knows the truth. Oh, but Tim, my VPN provider encrypts the data. Yeah, so do all websites. Guess what? They still know. In order to understand, first of all, this is how encryption works. You have to perform a handshake. And in order to know that the encrypted website you're visiting is legitimate, there needs to be some sort of record that says, who is this website? Well, you can't encrypt that portion of the message. That has to be sent plain text. That's the handshake. And the ISP knows that stuff. They know where you are. They may not know the content of what you browsed, but that doesn't mean anything. They just go visit the website. Then they'll know the content, right? It's that simple. And if you think turning off the location services means anything, first of all, if you don't know those signs on the interstates that say, oh, it's 35 minutes to 35 West, right? Or 35W, I don't know. What does the W stand for in interstates? Is it West?
Yeah, West. Yeah. So
Okay,
we
yeah.
always have West, East, all that.
Okay, so yeah, if it says, oh, it's 25 minutes to get to I-35 West, well, the reason they know that is because a car with a Bluetooth handset drove by one of those signs, and it registered the unique pairing ID with that Bluetooth device. Then you drive past the next sign, 20 miles up the road. And it says, oh, it's the same ID, and here's how long it took to pass these two signs. That's how long it takes to get to this place.
Well, yeah, because it already knows the speed limit.
Yeah. Every time you hit a Wi-Fi signal, you are broadcasting to everyone where your phone is, because your Mac address on your Wi-Fi chip is being broadcast to every single Wi-Fi station in range.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So just turning off your location services doesn't mean shit. Also, most phones have satellite GPS anyways, and that is not disabled. You think that just by turning off your location service, big tech, big government can't be like, well, I still know where you are. After all, you just Googled how to get to a certain location. I don't need the location service to know that you went there.
Right.
Anyways, I get off on these tangents. I'm sorry, but it frustrates me when people who know nothing about tech try to explain to me how tech works.
But do you know what you just did just there? Do you know what you really did, Tim? You just provided a Christmas miracle. I'm touched. I really am. I'm touched. Because, I mean, do you know, there's lots of Christmas miracles, right? Like, you have, was that your Representative Tillerson with this whole 10 years of prison for illegal streaming. We don't even need to touch on that because, of course, we touched on that a little bit on Nick's show. And, we all know that the language in there, what they really mean, we know that it just gives them free license to go after anybody, right? Basically, it gives them free license, free reign to screw with whoever they want to screw with. Simple as that.
Yeah. The intention was to go after the people who maintain networks of piracy, like the Kim.coms of the world. But the wording in the bill, first of all, who is the maintainer of a torrent? Everyone. It's communal, right? Torrent networks, everyone is guilty who uses the torrent network. And by the way, if you think your ISP doesn't know your BitTorrenting stuff, it does. It knows. Even if you're on the dark web, it knows.
Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Technology has.
Oh, by the way, did you look at the guy who wrote that article? That CNN guy, Jordan Valinsky.
Oh, can everyone see? Can everyone see this guy, Jordan Valinsky?
Yeah, he's a couple. I posted him a little bit further up in the news channel.
God. Isn't he just a masculine fellow?
What are the chances that he takes a soy pill suppository every morning when he wakes up?
I mean,
and you know what? And his girlfriend pegs it into him.
Oh, of course, that's a given. And I mean, this guy, his wife's boyfriend, he appreciates the lattes that he provides for him, right? And then he slaps it out of his hand. It's like, I don't want it anyway, right?
We'll leave a link to his profile on CNN. Go check him out yourself.
We need to, man. I mean, that dude is like literally soy personified, right? Like, dude, bruh, are you serious? Like, this is possible? But that's why I said we're going to make sure we have a masculine Christmas this year. We're not going to do, like I said, we're not going to do any of that cuck shit. And, when
speaking of masculine,
uh-oh.
You've got one more article to get to, don't you?
Oh, well, I have a couple articles. Yeah, well, we're going to lose some with this next article, which is this is on a GoFundMe about Emily. Oh, wait, Emily? Yeah, Emily. So help Emily get puberty blockers she urgently needs. And this is some disturbing shit, right? And they have all these little donate things. It says a plea from a mom of a 13-year-old trans girl who has had puberty blocking. It says mediation snatch. Must be supposed to be medication because these people can't type. Puberty blocking medication snatched from her grasp following the court ruling against the Tavistock and Portman Gender Identity Clinic on 1st December 20th or 1st December 2020. It's kind of weird reading these when they're in reverse like that. And I looked at this article. Hi, I'm Emma, mum to Emily. So Emily has been a patient at this place. She was just weeks away from getting puberty blocking medication prescribed by the NHS clinic.
For those who don't know, NHS is the public healthcare system in the UK.
This is disturbing. Like as I look at this article,
that's government funding right there.
Yeah,
government funded clinic. Because NHS is there's a singular health provider in the UK because it's socialized, right? It's also a monopoly just by default.
This is so sad. It's her saying how she needs these puberty blockers so bad. Isn't that funny? You can go get, judges are out here saying that a kid can go get all these puberty blockers. They're going to alter their life irreparably, right? And last I checked, trans people have the highest rate of suicide, right? And yet, so you can do this, but you can't go to war. You can't get a drink. There's a whole lot of things you can't do, but you can do this, though, right? You ever like wonder that though, Tim? Like, there's all these things you can't do, and they say that you're a child, right? You're a minor, but as soon as it comes time to, cut off someone's penis or put them on puberty blockers, female to male, male to female, all of a sudden it's okay, right? All of a sudden.
By the way,
So
if you actually go look at the GoFundMe page, first of all, it did reach its goal. It got funded, so that's well, you know what? Good luck. I hope you survive. That's the best I can hope for. Look at the two pictures though of the kid, and how they're so different from each other. Like, okay, so I'm guessing because the mom is using the female pronouns and the female name. I'm guessing that it's born Emily was born a boy and wants to transition to a girl. That's my guess. Well, guess what? That second photo looks like a boy, even though the first photo, the one they use for the banner header, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the second one, you mean the blonde hair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a boy. Looks like a boy that someone's trying to pretend is a girl. And so
look, take off the long hair and it's easily a boy. The first picture, not so much.
Yeah. The first, because like you said, the age, right?
It's the manipulation. It's that manipulation, Drex.
You know what's funny though? Do you know that you can see? I'm looking at this thing. You can see who donated money. 10 pounds donated, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, 15 pounds. I'm gonna click see all, right? And I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna look. So I'm gonna look at the male name versus female. One male, one female. Anonymous doesn't count. 2 male, 1 female. 2 males, 2 females. 3 males, 2 females. 3 males. So 3 and 3. So as I go down, it's a pretty even split. And it starts to get more females. Slight edge for more women. Yeah, it starts to go up toward women, but I do see enough dudes, right?
Yeah.
What kind of dudes do you think these are? Remember I said this is going to be a stream about masculinity? This is Christmas Day. You opened up your presents. You opened up a fucking thing of testosterone, right?
Yeah.
Let that be the new hormone replacement therapy for all these bitch-made simps, cucks, feminists. Like, the fact that these people can still exist and try to push this nonsense, right? I have a daughter, Tim. I would never, I couldn't imagine telling my daughter, you're going to take these hormone blockers because I want a son. No, you're a girl. You're a girl. That's the end of story. Period.
Yeah. There are 472 people who donated to this GoFundMe. What percentage do you think are just sexually attracted to the kid?
Absolutely. Lots of pedos, man.
Because that's the other angle on this too.
I was going to say that.
There's a lot of sex abuse in this community.
Absolutely. And when you talk about these pride parades and all that, right? We get to talking about pride parades. You see dudes out there in thongs and G-strings and just showing their salami, right? And they don't get ticketed for any of this, right? This is not indecent exposure, is it?
Yeah, if I did the same thing, I'd be on a sex offender registry for life.
Yep, you're done. Oh, so that's funny. So are you saying, Tim, that we have protected citizens? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we have separate classes of citizens. You know this. We're both minorities. We've always known separate class.
Right? It's wonderful because, like, you see so many different angles of people playing certain sides. And, I actually had I had a friend of mine tell me a story when she was in Target, right? So she's Latina, and she said that she's in that Target, and she saw a little black girl who needed her shoes tied. Excuse me, she needed her shoes tied, right? So she makes a comment. The girl, she goes ahead and bends over and gets her shoes tied, right? Guess who butted into this, nothing moment, right? An insignificant moment to try to play a victim card. Just take a wild guess who did.
The single mother.
Tim, how do you know these things? Are you clairvoyant? Are you reading my mind?
Yes, absolutely. You have a phone on you, right? Yeah, I'm already in your mind.
Well, now here's the thing. I don't know if she's a single mom because there was a dude there. Yeah, right.
Send me your brain chip.
Right. It's all about the chip. Well, she tells me that there was a guy there. Now I don't know if that was her dad or just the new simp daddy, the the stepdaddy. Simp daddy is what I call him because there's nothing else that you are if you take care of a single mom. And one of the things that was very telling was that this black chick, because of course she's black, she starts going off on my friend, talking about you almost ran over her because they're always combative and accusing someone of abusing them or mistreating them, right?
Yep.
And a couple of things stood out. She said that the guy was clearly, checking her out, right? So she got jealous. We know that part. But here's what really bothers me about this story is Tim, this little girl doesn't know any better, right? But over time, she's going to become the same thing that the mother is now, right? This vindictive victimhood mentality person, right? Who's angry and all this kind of stuff. It's a learned behavior, right? And that's unfortunate because there's so many of these young girls, whether they're black or white, who are being, and then there's some guys out there who do the same thing, who are scumbags and teach their kids to be a certain way, and that's not right. And it's just they're teaching them the wrong things, and they can pollute something that's that should be pure. And when I think about things like that, here we are at Christmas and things that are poison that used to be pure. I was thinking, did you know that Wonder Woman 1984 came out? Did you know about that?
No.
Did you know what kind of box office business it did after, it pushed all that social justice, you know, respect woman bullshit
Uh,
and Orange Man bad?
hang on. Crystal ball's coming to life. Go woke, or go woke, go broke. Let me guess.
You
They
know
went
what?
broke.
Strong, independent woman don't go broke, okay? Broke is something that comes from the patriarchy.
Well, they hit the glass ceiling, is what happened.
The glass ceiling, yeah, damn Skippy.
First of all, if you maintain your glass ceiling correctly, no one will ever know it's there.
Nobody,
Until you plant your face on it.
right? It's crazy because IGN is completely worthless, and this article was written by Adam Bankhurst, who I'm sure is equally worthless. And
I need a picture of this guy. Hang on, you go ahead. I'll get a picture.
yeah, Adam Bankhurst is his name, IGN. And I'm looking at this article right here. It says Wonder Woman 1984 international theatrical debut disappoints. So it's theatrical, international, you guys. So hear this out. International debut, not just here in America. It earned 18.8 million in China and a total of 38.5 million overseas. Now, I was not a big fan of Tenet, Christopher Nolan's movie, but it didn't push an agenda. It was all concept and no, true heart or emotion or anything. Anytime your main character's name is the protagonist, I know that you failed as a movie. And even though I love Christopher Nolan, I got to be harsh on that movie. But I'm looking at this article and it says, debut was not as successful as planned, opening to only 18.8 million and 38.5 overseas. As reported by THR, Wonder Woman 1984 didn't even place first in China during its opening weekend, losing out to The Rescue's 35 million. And then it says, for comparison, 2017's Wonder Woman opened to 38 million in China before earning a total of 90.5 million. And this movie, you guys, cost 200 million to make.
Oh,
You see?
I put a picture of Adam in the news channel.
Let me see this guy.
I'm gonna say, he doesn't look bad. He
He
definitely
looks
doesn't
normalish.
look like the power bottom simp. Cuck,
He doesn't
right?
look like Valinsky. He doesn't look like Valinsky.
No,
I'll
he
at least
does
give him
not.
that. But you
I'll
work
give
for
him that.
IGN, so I can't trust you. I'm telling
His
you, there's
username on IGN is funny. It's at Falcon-X32. That's a man-child, right? That's someone who didn't grow up from Star Fox.
Of course. What
But
a game. They need to bring that shit back, right?
yeah,
Fox, Falco.
but then they'll find a way to fuck it up too, right?
Probably.
Like when they remaster these classic games, it just never is the same. They fuck something up. Oh wait, they did a remaster of the original Star Fox. What was it? 64? Nintendo 64 was for?
Yeah, well, okay, so they had Star Fox, then Star Fox 2, which was unreleased over here. And then
Yeah.
you get to Star Fox 64, and of course, you get some of the GameCube titles, but like, it's funny you say that because isn't it kind of hurtful when you see things that are like long dormant, right? Like you want another Star Fox, you want another Grim Fandango, you want another F Zero. Like there's these franchises that are like they're right there, and just like they get ignored. It's like,
I want a Twisted Metal that doesn't suck. Is that too much to ask?
oh man, it might be honestly, it might be too much to ask. Vehicular combat. I
Anyways,
remember Twisted Metal was huge when I was growing up, man.
I loved that. And you know what? The fact that you could play through 20 times with 20 different characters and get different endings, right?
Different endings. Yeah, that was a big
When,
deal.
when Calypso grants you his wish, right?
Yeah,
But then he always fucks you over with the wish.
of course, of course. It was kind of like when Nick and I watched Wishmaster 2, right?
Yeah.
You get a wish and you think it's literal, but he turns it into like a twisted version of itself.
By the way, Wishmaster 2 was one of only 2 movies Nick has watched on his movie night stream on Amazon Prime that was available in Canada. Every other movie he's
No.
watched, not available.
No.
Oh, I want to see him do Carnival Row. I know he doesn't like doing like actual TV series. Carnival Row looked really interesting. I watched the pilot. I did a watch party of my own with the pilot.
No, sure.
It looked interesting. It's a fantasy based world, right? So you got like elves and fairies and whatnot. It looked very interesting. Anyways, by the way, the other movie that was available in Canada was Hot Wax Zombies on Wheels.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that
Hot
one is a
Wax
great movie.
Zombies on Wheels.
Oh, we got to get you to watch that movie. That is the greatest movie of all time.
Look, man, I turned on. I went to go get some Christmas presents, and I was in I think a Spencer. I was about to say Hot Topic. I was in a Spencer Gifts or whatever they're called, and I'm sitting in there, and the novelty shirts they had like brought tears to my eyes, man. There's so much Michael Myers, so much Friday the 13th with Jason Voorhees. They had fucking killer clowns from outer space, man.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I just went like, oh God, there's so
boy.
much here. And of course, like, lots of puns. Like the Michael Myers shirt said, just the tip, and he's holding the knife with the blood at the end. I'm just thinking, this is great, man. Like I'm telling you, Tim, before SJWs ruined everything, literally everything, people forget just how good life used to be, right? Do you remember what comedy was like when people could just tell a joke that was,
Russell
joke,
Peters
right?
is one of my favorite comedians of all time.
He's good. He's good stuff.
And the only way he gets away with it, and they've tried to cancel him. Don't get me wrong. They have tried to cancel him.
Of course.
The only
They try to
reason he
cancel
gets away,
everybody. He's brown.
they don't cancel Amy Schumer because she's an
Nope, she's
absolute
not
train
funny.
wreck.
Yeah,
Right?
well, first of all, she's
The
not
one person
funny.
you should be canceling.
Ugh. But she cancels herself though. Like to me,
Yeah.
I think it's better to cancel yourself. Like Sarah Silverman and all these female comedians are just useless. They're not funny.
Yeah.
None of them are.
But anyways, any closing thoughts on our IGN friend here before we move on to the last article?
Oh, he deserves nothing other than the fact that he works for IGN.
All right. So the last article I want to show you, because we're doing this BBC News wrap up, right, with the very large antenna.
Of course.
So from the BBC News, now I introduced you before the show to something called Pigeon, which is it's a variant language used in Africa where pronunciation is very literal in the way they write the words. So I've posted in the news channel an article on COVID-19, and I want you to just do a dry read of it.
Let's see. New variant of coronavirus day for South Africa. The fuck? The UK no be the only country with new variant of coronavirus. Scientists from South Africa don't announce, say them in the World Health Organization, WHO, they took eye into new mutation of the way they cause COVID-19 to the increase for many parts of the country. Them know MS501.V2 and now the genomics team for the KwaZulu Natal Research Innovation and Sequencing Platform, CRISP.
Yeah, apparently the research, innovation, and sequencing can't be pigeonized, apparently.
Yeah, all of a sudden CRISP, like in hypothesis. Identify him. Wait, that was slick. On 18 December, South Africa Health Minister Zweli Mziki Toxe 501.B2, they do like to say they affect more young people than the old version of the virus.
I hope that was our Christmas present for everyone. I hope you enjoyed that.
This is horrible. Wow. Is this what it's come to, man?
Yeah.
Oh shit. This is like real bad though.
Oh man. I love still being able to introduce people to this this pigeon. It's always a treat when someone is introduced to pigeon for the first time. I hope you, the listener, really enjoyed that.
What's great is that, people as in PIPO, they, I've talked about this with Nick where I said, they've done studies on this, and it is actually leftists who are the far more racist and have these views of, especially black people, like, oh, all black people are dumb. All black people are impoverished. All black people are like this. So they'll be the ones sitting there like, all black people speak Ebonics and they only have a 4th grade education. Like, when you read that article, it's so ridiculous that it's born on a point of parody, right?
Yeah.
If you had shown me that, I would have thought that was literally just parody. Like, aha, you're a funny guy. That's a good joke because it's parody. But when it's actually found out, wait, this is real? Are you serious? Get the fuck out of here, man. This is the reason why you need masculinity, man. Is that every time there's gonna be some fuck shit, you just shut it down. If someone ever tried to embarrass me and mock me with some fuckery like that in my face and took it seriously, I'd be like, and we're done. We're done. Right? That's unbelievable, man. That's that's the kind of Christmas gift. Like, that's what you give a kid who did nothing but didn't do social the distance learning, right? He flunked out of every class and he gets a lump of coal in his stocking. That was the lump of coal right there. Congratulations, little Johnny. And you and all your people, you fucked up. That's your Christmas 2020.
Drexel, we just passed 30,000 views on YouTube.
Oh, shit.
I just looked up the analytics now.
Well, with all these guys' support, you guys have already seen and heard that I've upgraded from a damn potato mic to a yam mic. And I mean, we keep this up, I might actually get like a real mic, right? Like an actual real mic.
This was a stopgap. First of all, do you know the headache that it will cause to try and talk you through setting up an XLR microphone with a mixer?
Oh man, that sounds sexy. Sounds dangerous. It sounds exotic.
And yes, guys, we do read the comments. We read the comments. I bring the emails in. Absolutely. We take your feedback seriously, even if you don't. Right? A lot of people are saying like they love the 4th day of Thotmas. They're talking about the quality of the recording.
Oh, nice. I like that.
They also like that I say stay frosty at the end of everything, especially after the baby batter story that you dropped this morning.
Oh, man. Yeah. Shit.
Right. We're making 100 references to Peter North every episode, and then I sign off with stay frosty, everyone.
You know what's wild, man, is that, I think about, just obviously I got to thank everybody out there this year that's helped me with the show. It finally came together. Like I said, I'm learning on the fly, and of course, I'll start doing the actual videos and all that kind of stuff will be coming next year. Kind of just a quick glimpse into the future of 2021. Of doing live streams, of doing guests on the show and all that. And you guys will be seeing more actual recordings of me. I got some equipment coming in, a stand. I'll probably even upgrade to like one of these fancy HD cameras and all that kind of stuff. But I hear these comments, right? I read them.
A thought spammed the 4th day of Thotmas. I love the
Really?
irony. I love the irony, right? Well, it's just a bot, right?
Oh, so yeah. I've seen the bots in there. I did
Yeah,
find
yeah.
that completely
Where it's like, I
fucking
need a
comedy.
boyfriend, and then people just start dogpiling on the bot. This is a no simp zone. Go away.
One
I'm
of the things
like,
I
this is
find
why I
funny.
don't remove the comment, because it's funnier this way.
Well, you know the best part is about the I do this Thotmas series, and obviously my next series I'm going to do next year is going to be the guys who don't stick your dick in crazy, and of course this every one of the stories is going to be what happened when you stuck your dick in crazy, right? So that's like the whole thing. After the end of each little episode, will just be like and that's why you don't stick your dick in crazy. I look at these comments, I look at the people, and one of the things that's crazy is like, how do they find these bots? To just remember, w- Tim, we just started, right? We just started. How did the bot already get there? We even have an age
Eh,
restricted video, bro. How did we get an age? I haven't said
we
anything wrong all year.
nothing else has been age restricted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This has been the best year of my life. I haven't done anything bad that I can think of. Uh,
You're about to make the biggest mistake of your life by telling the Thad story.
yeah, other than the Thad story.
Wouldn't it be the greatest troll of all time to just end the recording tonight and say, "All right, everyone, go home. That's it. We're done,"
Yeah.
and just never release the Thad story? I'm joking, guys.
Yeah,
You'll
they
get
get to
it.
day two of Thotmas, day one, and then and there's no day
Nothing.
one. And the crazy thing is this is I look at the comments that people say, and one of the things I love about the engagement with the fans is that hearing other people's stories, right? Because Tim, think about it. When you tell a story, everyone has stories, right? Like everyone that you bump into, whether they're military, whether they just some guy, I was a janitor at this university and this is what I overheard or what I saw, right? Like anything, like everyone just has all these stories. And it's so great to interact with people and hear what they've got going on and stories that they have to tell. And I can't wait to just engage with them more, interact more, obviously with guests and just telling stories, reacting to things on the news and just like, growing the channel from there. So much more like, so many more topics, so much more stuff out there in popular culture and stuff. And obviously, whether it be
Yeah.
news, games, movies, all that kind of, movies are kind of done. So I guess we'll just have
Yeah.
like we'll have
Oh,
a
the
Netflix and
game
chill
review.
time.
The game
Yeah,
reviews
right.
definitely a thing we'll do.
Oh yeah, man. Because I've always loved my games. It's just like
Well, I was
there's
thinking
just no
the
feeling like it.
format too, like because I do have a Twitch channel. I'm not going to plug it here because that's that's shameful. This is Drexel's show. Um, but I do have a Twitch channel where I can, we can play a game and do some commentary on it. Especially because I literally, like, I own every console except with the Switch. I don't know why I don't own a Switch, but I
I
own a
don't know how
lot of
you.
consoles.
Oh, do you know who just texted me?
Is that military guy?
No, Mama Vic. Shout out to her
Wow.
for her
Oh,
text. She let's just say she went through
so
she
do
listened
you
to a
have?
certain episode of Thotman. She's a little bit behind, right?
Yeah.
So she's listening to lots of stories about baby batter, and
Oh.
she's finding it wildly entertaining. And
Oh yeah, so the episode with the cuck licking up baby batter, for the thumbnail, I used milk and cookies. That's for you, Drex. That's my present.
oh, that's great, man. It's so good having fun, and
We have
and
too much fun on this show. I've said it
I
many
know, right?
times, but it's true. Did you bring in any comments you wanted to read?
Oh, you know what? I guess I could even do like a special year end, I guess we could say. And after this glorious Christmas of all this recording we've been doing. But I saw lots of comments. I'll need to come back to
Yeah,
that and write
if
write
you
down some
like one,
comments.
yeah, or copy and paste it onto like a Word doc or something.
Oh yeah.
Just because they're hard to find again once you're like, oh, where was that comment? Which video was it on?
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you like, go back through each one and individually kind of scroll down, like, oh, there was a comment, and then
Yeah.
like screen
So
grab it or something like that or something. But
yeah,
I saw
I've
some
got
that I
one
was like,
here.
oh man, I'll have to go back and respond to some of those. And I've seen some wild stories in the comments section. So I appreciate all the
Oh,
engagement with all the fans, all the subs.
if you want to use the official podcast account to respond to the fans, I'll get you set up after the show.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, that
because
helps.
there's a way to do it where you can actually respond as the Migtown podcast
Oh,
channel,
nice.
right?
Oh, slick.
And that way, because right now everyone just knows it's me. Everyone knows
Yep.
it's producer Tim. But
Ah,
the best part is they don't know who responded.
no, slick.
And the
God-
funniest part is
God
we
bless
both respond at the same time. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah, right.
It'll happen
Head
once.
explosions.
So I've got a couple of comments I'll bring in, and we'll move on to the questions.
Oh, let's do it.
So on the 5th day of Thotmas, Pierre-Luc left this comment. Pierre-Luc. Man, the French love their hyphenated names.
I know, right?
A friend of mine used to work in a clandestine swinger club in, oh God, Kinasatake,
Oh,
First
shit.
Nation Reserve near Montreal. Kinnesatake? Yeah, I'm going to say Kinnesatake. You know what? First read through. Kinnesatake. So, look, the only way I know a First Nation Reserve's name is someone has pronounced it to me before, because you can't just read the letters.
Correct.
You cannot. I'll show you the spelling of my reserve sometime, and you'll just look at it and be like, how the fuck do I even say this? Anyways, just remember, all the Q's are silent. I'm not kidding on this one. So a lot of illegal messed up shit happens over there. Said friend told me that one of the recurring events that happens in a particular club is something called a sex roulette. It was basically a different version of the Russian roulette, but instead of a revolver and a bullet, it was 6 girls on stage, face down, ass up, and one of them had HIV.
Oh, shit.
And 6 dudes were randomly selected to get up on stage and have sex with the girls.
Wait, so they knew the chick had HIV? I mean,
They knew one of them did,
and they still got up there.
I guess. I mean, he wasn't kidding when he said illegal / messed up.
Fuck,
Man.
wow.
And you know what? There's guys who are like, yeah, I'm down for this. I mean, otherwise they wouldn't do it, right?
You know what? Here's what's crazy. There's actually a lot of dudes out there who will smash chicks with the herp, bro. Like,
Why?
because like a chick will have on her dating profile, like it'll say like HSV, 2+ or whatever, right? So she has herpes simplex virus 2, right? Because HSV 1 is like a cold sore, so 2 is actually like herpes, right? And they'll have pictures of their WAP on there, and I'm kind of like, but you have herpes. And they'll be like, oh, I don't have outbreaks. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. But there's a lot of dudes out there and thirsting in her DMs. Oh yeah, I want to dive in that. I want to smash. I'm thinking, wow. But HIV? Fuck, man. Oh God. I mean, now, Tim, I had no faith in humanity to begin with, right? I mean, and this is Christmas. We're supposed to have more faith, but damn.
You know something? I know everyone in the comments is going to be like, well, it's Quebec, so, but hold on a second. It's a native reserve in Quebec. It's doubly fucked. No, that's not a double negative. Oh.
How
So-
could it come to this, man?
Some people just, I think that's what happens when you lose the will to live. But you're not like man enough to just go to Greenland, as they call it. By the way, do you know the story behind going to Greenland? It's been used a few times around Nick and Dick's shows.
Huh.
So Greenland has one of the highest suicide rates per capita in the world, right? Everyone thinks Japan. Look, when you don't see the sun for 6 months of the year, you get pretty fucking depressed. All right? It's cold as fuck up there, too.
Yeah.
Now,
that's
you
a
know, you don't like the cold very much, do you?
cold is terrible, man.
Yeah. There's not a human being alive that actually likes being cold. We're warm-blooded
None.
animals. All right? Some of us are just better accustomed to it, but it doesn't change the fact that when you get cold, you're miserable. Well, when you live in Greenland, you're cold quite a bit. Well, and the isolation does something to your brain too. The isolation, the darkness, the cold, it all just starts wearing on you. Greenland has one of the highest suicide rates in the world. So the joke actually originated from a Mumkey Jones video where he said he was raising money. He did I think a GoFundMe or something, which got canceled, obviously. He was raising money to go to Greenland so he could kill himself.
Wait, what?
We'll get Ken Jennings to look at him sometime, but this was the sex tape that was leaked for Road Rage Minneapolis. I know you weren't there, but I don't know if Nick told you about a sex tape. So his sex tape was the one that we watched in Minneapolis at the Airbnb, where Egg White was there. So Egg White was also in Minneapolis, right? So I got a chance to listen to him live. He's pretty good.
You know what? What do you think about just the very nature of the sex tape? Because like, you remember that used to be like a big deal, and I think the novelty has long worn off.
Okay, whose sex tape are we talking about? Are we talking about a generic sex tape, or are we talking about Ethan Ralph's sex tape?
All sex tapes have they're not good, man. It's not a good look.
It's the exact same person who would send an unsolicited dick pic to someone.
True. Here's the thing.
I think
if you make a sex
it's an
tape
attention thing.
If you make sex tapes with like the person or people you are dealing with, like like, think about it. A lot of husbands and wives have sex tapes, with each other, right? But they aren't out there broadcasting it to people. So it's just like once you start doing that, it's like, what kind of attention are you seeking?
Yeah.
Good.
There's no such thing as bad publicity, right? That's kind of what these e-celebrities, because Monkey Jones and Ethan Ralph are kind of one and the same. They're e-celebs, right?
I guess.
By the way, Monkey Jones made the video is one of the cool things that he's done. He made a short film called Monkey Jones Stops a School Shooting. It was pretty good. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's low budget, right? I think the budget was $100, something like that. But they got Asterios. If you remember Asterios from the lawsuit, Asterios is one of the actors.
Oh,
in that movie. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Go check it out. Google it. I don't have a link for it. Just look it up. Monkey Jones Stops a School Shooting. Most of our listeners probably already know who that is. Okay, so the next comment I wanted to bring in on the same video. It's a catfishing story. So this listener worked with a dude who's getting catfished. He even photoshopped himself and the girl, in quotation marks, together saying they were married. He was sending her money for phone bill payments. We tried to tell him it was a catfish, but he wouldn't listen. Twice he sent over $1,000 to pay for her to fly over.
Wait,
but
what?
Of course, she canceled. One of those times, the next day at work, he left 1 hour in because he was sad she wasn't coming. Eventually, it gets worse. He finds a real girl to date. They have a kid. Then later, a friend of mine who still works with him sent me a story that he smacked his 5-year-old son up so bad while his girlfriend watched, turned himself in, couldn't save the baby, and is now serving a life sentence in North Texas.
Oh shit. That got dark.
Yeah.
Oh. What?
So it
damn. Like,
you know that section of Thotmas where we're like, where are these people now? Well, there you go.
What's crazy is that here we are talking about cruise ships, thoughts on a cross, baby batter, and then it just went full dark, man. Like, damn, and that shit got Wesley Snipes.
It did.
Damn.
And this is why, like, there is a lot of people who should not have kids.
Agreed.
And I don't know. I really don't know what the test should be. It's obviously not an IQ test. I mean, that would help a little bit.
There is no test. Because here's the thing. You've heard those people who talk about how much they always wanted kids, right?
Yeah.
And then they get a kid, and what happens? You hear horror stories, right? About how they abuse
which
the
actually
kids.
kind of, I have to kind of take some self-introspection because I do talk like that. I do say, like, I do want a family. I do want kids. But look, again, like I said in an earlier episode, I still believe the delusion that fatherhood is a rewarding experience. I still believe that. You'll never change my mind on that.
I mean, it has its moments.
Look, I look at the chaos Nick goes through, right?
Yeah.
I'm not dumb. I know that his life can be a living hell sometimes. But it doesn't matter. I'm willing to go through hell for that.
Wow. Now, here's what I'll say to that. The guys like you that still have hope, which you shouldn't. I don't know how you can get through 12 days of Thotmas and still have hope. But here's what I'll say. Then go do it. Now, when you fail miserably, which you most likely will, I will be there trolling you for the rest of your life. Like, do you know I have a girl that I'm trolling that she's post-wall. Sweet girl, right? She's actually very sweet. But she believes that she deserves an alpha man, right? I'm like, but bitch, you're 40. You're done, right? You're done.
Yeah.
So she describes a man that like all women would want, right? Tall, dark, and handsome, and wildly successful, and endlessly charismatic, and blah, blah. I'm thinking to myself, and you think he would want a 40-year-old single mother? And she just kind of, yeah, I'm so amazing. I make my own, and she does the same feminist shit they all do, right? I make my own money, but you know what's funny? Once a woman says that, all you can do is just kind of like lower your head, like, well, she's lost. She's lost in the sauce.
Look, I'm 30 years old,
don't care
and I
about
still
your
don't
money.
have any kids yet. Do you want to know why? Because I know their thoughts. I know I'm going to regret it. There's only one of them out there that will make it work. And I'm going to wait for it, however fucking long it takes.
All right.
That is,
Remember.
sometimes, okay, so I took one of those Briggs-Myers personality tests. And look, I'm not going to bore you with it because basically that stuff is astrology for men. But one of the things it said was that I can be, my personality type can be extremely stubborn. Well, yes. I am a very stubborn person. Once I set my mind to a goal, I will pursue it until failure or success. And that is it.
Well, here's the thing, though. Okay, so where people get confused, though, right, is you're well aware of sports, and you're very aware of the stubborn coach, right?
Yeah.
Well, how many times have you seen a coach when they're stubborn, they're trying to do something that doesn't work, right? And rather than adjust their strategy, they go, no. So, like, in football, we're going to run the ball. It's like, dude, the run will be open when you start passing to put pressure on the dude. You're just becoming one-dimensional, right? So no, we're going to run the ball. We're going to establish the run. You wind up getting to the third quarter, yards on the ground, I don't know, 68, right? You had 5 3 and outs. It's like, at what point do you say, wait a minute, man, look, yes, I want to establish a run, but great coaches, what they always say, take what the defense gives you, right?
Yeah, that's why Belichick and Brady got along so well.
Absolutely.
Belichick is a master chess player. I believe this strongly. I don't know if he plays chess or not, but he's a chess master on the field. And Brady could execute under different schemes. Look,
correct.
He's doing just fine in Tampa. Not bad for, what is he, 42, 43? Not bad at all
new
for a 43-year-old.
System, new environment. Yeah, it's
all new players. Basically Gronk, who's at this point limping on one leg. Right? Look, most people rip on me for thinking that Tom Brady is a good quarterback. Whatever. I don't have a response for you. Believe what you want. But I do believe he is an incredibly talented quarterback because the quarterback position is about 75% mental, 25% execution with physical prowess. And look, Tom Brady may not be the most he's no Patty Mahomes, right?
Of course not.
But Tom Brady is more athletic than you are. Oh, well, me. He might not be as athletic as you are, but he definitely is more athletic than I am, and you, the listener. All right? He can outrun you. He can outthrow you.
Tom, he's not a scrub, but my thing is this. I still believe that Tom Brady represents one of the things that I think women can learn a lot from, which is, okay, let's say you're born as a woman and you're not let's say a 9 or 10 out of 10, right? Let's say you're a strong 6. You can wind up being a very high value man's 10 out of 10 by having all like putting in the work to be his 10 out of 10, right? So you think about this for a second. So we all know that Tom Brady. Oh, watch this. Does Tom Brady have the best arm? No. Does he have the best legs? No. When it comes to like his mental capacity, I mean, you can make a great argument, right? He's very clutch, right? I mean, the rules have changed, so we gotta kind of always factor that in. But for his era, he's the best quarterback of his era. And when someone goes, well, why is he the best quarterback of his era? Well, it's all the intangibles, right? When everyone else was out here getting wowed by quarterbacks because they could throw a ball, 70 yards, they're falling down or whatever. It's like, oh my God, he's so great. He's so athletic. But can they go out there and run an offense? Can they corral the troops, right?
Yeah.
It's all these intangibles. So it's like, and that's what I tell a lot of these girls. I go, if you're a girl and you're born, you're like a 5 or a 6. You're like, well, I'm just average, Drexel. Yeah. What can I do? Well, I tell you what, when you build your personality because you're actually funny and fun to be around and not bitching and nagging all the time, when you can cook a man a 5-star meal, hell, a 4-star meal, when there's always little things that you do that guys notice that. You see what I'm saying? And that's similar to what happens with Belichick, right? You remember, Tim, Brady's combine workout. Remember how horrible it was? Horrible. Horrible. But remember, it's only horrible because what did they base him on? It's all based on physical, right? So if you base Tom Brady only on physicality, he's going to look terrible. You'll say, "Oh, but this guy sucks." No, he doesn't suck. The combine bases your physical prowess in situations that are not really in a game, right? You have no pads, blah blah blah. But put Tom Brady in a game situation where he doesn't need to be able to run the fastest 40, because what does a quarterback need to have a fast 40 for, right? Can he go
Yeah,
through his
unless you're
progressions
Lamar
reads?
Jackson. It doesn't matter.
Lamar. Yeah, you're basically a running back who can throw the ball, right?
The reason I brought Tom Brady up is because the way he does exactly what you need to win. That's what he did against the Rams. Call it a boring game. I saw a brilliant chess match by two very good coaches. And you know what? Tom Brady's a good quarterback. My opinion is still out on what's his name? Goff.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jared Goff?
Yeah.
Eh.
I don't know if he's a great quarterback. He's good. He's good enough to get to the Super Bowl, right? And he's got a hell of a team built around him.
That he does.
But so, and like I saw a chess match there, but you saw Tom Brady adapt. Okay, I'm not getting anything done on the pass. I'm running. Shit, I'm not getting anything done on the run. All right, I'm going to do the RPOs. Right? And it was the RPOs that was starting to get him those slant routes, right? Because an RPO and a quick time to throw, and if you're on target, and remember, accuracy is key here. You have to hit your player because you're just going to throw a pick otherwise. So those slant routes, they're dangerous. But if you have the accuracy that Tom Brady has, like, he'll always kill you with those 6-yard pass plays.
Absolutely. Which is why Wes Welker was so dangerous, right? Like when you have that kind of a guy.
Tom Brady turned Julian Edelman into an all-star receiver.
Yep.
Look at Julian Edelman now.
Yeah. Well, you remember, Julian Edelman was a college quarterback, if I recall.
Yeah, and those flea flicker passes that he does with Edelman. Like, look, if Tom Brady is throwing a lateral to Julian Edelman, you better get your ass down the field.
Right.
Because Julian Edelman's not, like, he's not Antonio Brown, right? He's not Derrick Henry. Julian Edelman's not going to truck you. He's not Gronk, right? So if you see the lateral go across to Edelman, you better run your ass down the field because that ball's going deep.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I just think it's amazing that some of these teams haven't scouted that out yet and understood that's what's going on.
Well, that's the thing, right? They do a good job of selling. Anyways, the reason I got into that tangent was going back to being adaptive, right? You were talking about, and we said this before, Smart, sane, sexy. You only get 2. If I'm looking for the mother of my kids, I can give up sexy. I don't need you to be sexy.
Now,
Now,
she
if
could be.
you're
She
a
has to be
1,
pretty.
if you're a 1 out of 10, or at least learn how to use makeup, right? But if you're a 1 out of 10,
here's the thing. All you need. Here's the thing. I've always said this, Tim, is that like I know 50 Shades of Grey is pure fantasy, right? But there's actually a lot of truth in 50 Shades. And I kid you not, that part is true. Like TFM doesn't agree with me on that because he was saying like in real life he would get like a model chick. But here's what I think would happen: a guy like Christian Grey would be around model chicks, right? And do they have anything to offer other than looks? No, right? He's just like, well, I've been around these. They're just airhead. They offer nothing. They're materialistic. They're shallow. So the kind of girl who actually gets the guy like that, it is the virgin, right? It's the good girl virgin. That's who gets that kind of a dude. Now remember, in her mind, she's like, I'm in way over my head. I have no chance of getting a guy. Because remember, in her mind, because she projected her own hypergamy onto him, she believed she couldn't really get Christian because why? Because he has so many options, right? He's like, I mean, I'm a nobody compared to him. But you don't need to be a somebody to get a high value man. You just need to be the right kind of a woman, right? Virtuous, virgin. Virgin as a woman, Tim. I'm trying to think like what is the if you were to flip that coin, what is a virgin, an attractive virgin is the equivalent of what do you think if you from the other side of the dating aisle? I would say that's basically like in modern times, that's the equivalent of being a billionaire. Not a millionaire, not a thousandaire, but a billionaire, right? Attractive virgin in 2020? I would say, like, think about it, because how rare is it, right? You never come across them. So it's like, well, damn. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, there you go. So, yeah, I don't know how we got on the whole tangent based on what
yeah, we
the
did.
horror
Oh
story
man,
of.
our tangents are horrible.
I don't know what the fuck.
But you know what? I think
Yeah.
it's the banter. Guys, let us know in the comments. Do you like the banter, the tangents that we go off on? Because, I mean, this is why the podcast works. When you have 2 personalities that can just go off on tangents like that and have that witty banter. Because have you ever seen a podcast where the hosts hate each other? How long does it last?
I've never seen that. Is that a thing?
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've seen a few shows. Well, Dick and Maddox, for example, right? Like, yeah,
Well,
they
hold
were
on,
excellent
hold on.
foils for each other.
Did they like each other in real life before all the drama? Really?
Yeah, they were similar. They came from similar corners of the internet. So yeah, they were pals. They tried pitching TV shows together before. Actually, the biggest problem in the universe was one of their failed TV pitches. Once the show, because Maddox is a very literal person, he cannot put on an act of any kind and not have his real persona come out. Right? He can't compartmentalize or separate himself from his act.
Seriously?
So, no, he cannot. Then, like I said, we talked about this with Ken Jennings, right? This guy meets a lot of the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder.
Wow.
Anyways.
It's so easy for me if someone told me like, like I'm playing this character or I'm mocking this, or like it's, you think about it like when an actor is on Saturday Night Live and they're pretending to be somebody, right? It's easy, right? Like you play the character, and then when the character is, you done with that little set, then you're done, right? You move on to something else. Like I couldn't imagine being like, it has to still be me. Like, no, really, it doesn't.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll get a couple more comments, and then we'll move on to the advice emails and to show up for today.
Good deal.
We'll try to hit these a little faster. I did want to shout out the individual who does the timestamps for our episodes. Look, when I edit this stuff, I'm not the best editor, so I do have to listen a few times in order to make sure I got everything. So I listen to an episode maybe 3 or 4 times, once, of course, when we record it live, and then a few times in editing. And then I give it a spot check when I publish the finished product to make sure, I didn't accidentally delete something or forget to start the recorder. So shout out to the individual who does our timestamps. We love you. I know you don't want the credit, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. We love you.
It's appreciated.
I picked out, and this individual also has they have a great way with words to just surmise the portion of the podcast that we're talking about. And I love the one. Do you remember when I made my coffee comment in the 6th day of Thotmas? I like my coffee like I like my women, white and full of cream.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So our timestamp in person lists that portion of the episode as producer Tim likes Utah coffee and Boston cream.
Oh.
I wanted to bring that in because it's funny.
That's good.
6th day of Thotmas had a lot of people writing in about I know someone who's married to a black chick and complains all the time or doesn't get this or doesn't get that. Right?
Yeah, now, Tim, I gotta address this issue real quick. Here's the thing. I constantly get hounded because I've had people say, and this is private and online life, whatever you want to call it, right? Where people have this thing where they think that I'm attacking black chicks, right? Even though black women have been bashing black men, forever, but especially like within the last 6 years, once feminism really started taking hold in the black community, and people need to remember this. I'm the one who wants to hold black women accountable so they can be better, right? Because now think about this for a second, Tim. If I were a simp, I would be like this, nah, slay queen, you're perfect the way you are. You're beautiful at any size. That's what a simp would say, right?
Yep.
And then let me ask you this. Would black women get any better? No. Do you know what makes them better? Look, there are standards. You need to be in shape. You need to be submissive. You need to be friendly and polite and nice to be around. I'm telling you, Tim, do you know I've talked to many people and I ask them, do you in general, or have you ever just kind of, noticed how often do you have good interactions with black women? Most people are like, I've never had one. No, don't get me wrong. Like,
I have had one.
Someone's mom or grandma.
I told you a story about the girl I brought out.
Yeah, but
that was a good interaction. But you know what? She took care of herself. She wasn't overweight. She smelled nice.
How does the story end? How does it end? She only faked the funk for so long. See?
Yeah.
She can fake the funk for so long. Trust me.
I got blue balled. And you know what? Senpai, please notice me. But after that, I didn't talk to her again because I was like, "Fuck this! I ain't getting anything out of it."
Yeah.
Right.
No, she wanted to be like a beta simp orbiter.
Yeah. Tell me I did good, Senpai. Look, you fuck up from time to time, guys. You do, right? You will strike out. I don't know why anyone pretends that no guy ever. Drex, you've struck out before, right? You've got blue balled before. It happens. It's your reaction to it that determines your character.
Absolutely. Every guy, because remember, guys are the ones that have to really put their foot forward and try to seal the deal, right? And women aren't going to do it. They give non-verbal cues, right? They'll give you all these choosing signals, but women are not out there, like I said, other than cougars. Women in general are not walking up to dudes just being like, yo, because that turns dudes off and it makes them suspicious. Like, why are you approaching me like that? Yeah. So, but when it comes to these black chicks, Tim, I've never heard a black guy say he's happy married to a black. Not once. None. Not once. My uncles. Nobody.
I can't think of one either. Now, then again, we don't have a lot of black chicks up here, right?
Look, come down to America.
Oh, I saw.
They're all miserable.
Look, the very first person I bumped into when I got out of my car in Minneapolis for Road Rage Minneapolis was this cracked out black woman asking for change. Just high off her ass, man. Anyways, one more comment. I just saw this one. I want to get to it. One of our listeners on the 7th day of Thotmas video sent in this comment. He had a homegirl who was my friend with benefits. She introduced me to a friend of hers she wanted to smash. She wanted him to smash.
Yeah.
4'11", light brown woman. So he did it. Everything was great. Kept smashing the 4'11". Eventually, she had a problem with it, saying I wasn't giving her the pipe, and I was inconsiderate to her feelings. You played the voicemail, right? So this is how it's going to be.
Yep. Yeah, you can't make this up. So here's the thing. women
And she has a
are.
boyfriend. He
Doesn't
says
matter.
later on, she has a boyfriend.
It
and
doesn't matter.
She's talking like
She
this to him.
lost the attention from her beta male orbiter. Even if you're the alpha male, like he's saying, as long as you are a guy that she has a use for, which means you're a utility, whatever that utility may be, it can just be attention. When you stop giving it to her and it is now diverted somewhere else, she's getting pissed off, right? Like, well, I'm not getting, because remember, even though she has a boyfriend, she liked getting texts from you, right? That's attention and validation, right? And she always knew, hey, if things don't work out with this guy or that guy or the next random hookup, I always have my beta male orbiter, right? But when you take that away, it's like, oh shit, panic mode. Panic. Like, no, I will say this though. One thing I don't like is I keep hearing this argument that men and women can't be friends. I strongly disagree with that. I really do. I strongly disagree because I've heard this story that the only so-called friend is just a guy that wants to smash you that hasn't smashed you. I don't believe that's true at all. I did have to point that out because I keep hearing that and it's not true.
Yeah. Well, I talked
Not
about
true.
that too. Like the girl, I'm like I describe us as friends, right?
Hmm.
But anyways, that I think that's probably when you're at the stage of my life. That's all you need, right? You get the occasional smash,
Yeah.
and then you have someone that you can go do stuff with, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. There are women out there who, like I said, it really just depends on the position you're in. I will never date again. That will not change. Period. I won't waver on that ever.
Yeah.
And going forward, it's like, so someone goes, okay, so Drex, well, what do you have women in your life for? I'm like, well, you gotta remember, I take care of myself, right? Pay my own bills, so I don't need them for provision. I don't need them for protection. So the only thing a woman can really offer me is company and then smash, right? There's nothing else. So once you understand that, like, there are people out there. I'm gonna address. There was actually one gal in one of my episodes of Thotmas where she was making a comment. I believe her name is Melissa. I believe I'm gonna
Oh
address
yeah,
her.
I wanted to bring that in, but I
Yeah, don't
can't
worry, I
read
caught
that.
it.
It's way too long.
Okay, yeah, it's a long one, but I'll be sure to catch it, and I may just reply once I get this Migtown podcast
Yeah, I'll get
response,
you
so it
set up
doesn't show
after
up
the
as
show.
me. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and
I'll
then
get
I
you
will
set
go
up.
ahead and respond to these chicks because there was so
Hey,
much to address on that.
make sure you're on the right account. You see these thoughts sometimes they think, "Oh, I'm on my personal account," and they accidentally tweet from their corporate account that they run, right?
Mm.
Don't be that person.
Ooh,
Don't be
ouch.
that. Make sure you're on the correct account when you type out the reply. It will tell you, it'll show the little picture,
Yep.
right? It'll tell you what account you're on.
Yeah, that's
But
wild,
yeah, I'll
man.
get you set up after the show.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like, what are your kind of your thoughts on the whole thing?
What were we talking about again?
I mean, don't worry, we weren't talking about Pokimane.
No, no, no,
Um,
no.
well, like when you have someone like I said, like the Melissas of the world who are gonna say, they have their own viewpoint, and like I said, I'm glad people have their own view, but one of the things I think that it's kind of weird is when you have that person that's it's like they view you and your intentions a certain kind of way, and that's why we were going into the whole men and women can be friends, right? Is I mean, Tim, really ask yourself, what can a woman bring to your life? This is Christmas Day, right? Going forward, 2021, marriage rates at an all-time low, birth rates at an all-time low, right?
Yeah.
Antidepressants all-time high, suicide skyrocketing, anti-anxiety all-time high. So people are medicated. They don't take relationships seriously anymore. So okay, so where's it going? Right? Dollhouse Phil knows. That's why I love that guy.
Oh yeah, we'll get him in. We'll get him in here. I feel like for the listeners because we talked about Dollhouse Phil before the show. I'm thinking we should have Dollhouse Phil on as a regular because I noticed he doesn't have a lot of content on his YouTube channel.
See, I didn't know he had a YouTube channel, honestly.
I mean, I guess you'll never really know until you call the guy, but
Hmm.
right. But oh, by the way, we've got to book a flight out to the UK whenever this fucking coronavirus shit's
Dude, this shit's
wrapped
so
up.
lame, man.
Yeah,
It's just gotten
like
to a
I will
point
go
of
with you.
lameness.
I will meet you there, and we'll go hang out with Dollhouse Phil, do a live show there, the three of us. I don't know, maybe
I'm
you know
down.
what, you can in a big city, you can always book a recording studio for a pretty reasonable price, especially if it's audio only. If it's video, yeah, you're out of fucking luck. But you can always find one of those like YouTube recording studios in the big cities, right?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
So we'll find a way to make it work. If not, we'll just bring all our equipment and just set up impromptu. But yeah,
Works for me.
we've got to get out to the UK and link up with Phil.
Oh yeah, man, I'm down.
Like I said, the listeners who made all this possible, I didn't know what to expect, Drex, when I launched this. Right when I approached you and said, "Hey, let's put something together here. Let's get something going." Never in my mind could I think that I would travel internationally for the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens so fast,
But it's possible.
right?
It's possible.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, the whole experience has been cool. I'm loving the interaction. Like I said, there's so much more to do and to people to reach and all that kind of stuff. And just really, like I said, when I'll start, I'll flick the camera on so you guys will be able to see my grizzled face.
Yeah, do
which
it.
I think
Do it shirtless. Do it
Yeah.
shirtless so we can
Yeah,
up the
of
ratio
course.
of female listeners.
Yeah, of course, right? But the thing is that you kind of look at just like how quickly this year has, you think about the way that the year started, right? And then it kind of quickly happened, right? Because you think about the shutdowns. How many times have you heard people say, "I don't know what day it is anymore," right?
Yeah.
You ever like found yourself like kind of sitting there, you're like, hey Tim, what day is it? You're like, I don't know anymore, right? You just have these like I remember in the summer, Lady Rackets and I said that. It was like one of those like weird moments, like, I just don't even know what day it is. Everything just started blending, and before you know it, think about it. The shutdown happened in March. Here we are, guys, it's Christmas. It's Christmas. And yet, like, think about it. People have been in their house for 9 months, basically, nothing's been open, right, Tim? Like all the stuff that you did, a year ago, you didn't do this year, right? Oh, I'm going here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. All of a sudden, that's
I
gone.
wanted to join the fucking army, for crying out loud.
Man, yeah, it flipped. It flipped quick, and it really lets people know. When Thanksgiving comes around, people go, tell people what you're thankful for. I hope people are really thankful for the times that they've had, the times that they can have, and it's like really reach out to people that maybe you didn't want to or know how to. It's like it's okay to just reach out, man, because like I don't know about you, Tim, but the world feels more disconnected now than it's ever has before, right? You
Oh, yeah.
just feel this sense of like disconnect. Like, people are like, I'd rather just be on my phone or live in cyberspace.
Yeah, you want to know how you sold your soul to technology companies like Facebook and Google? Because you did. It was something you willingly gave up. It's because
Yeah.
you suddenly didn't want to interact with people person to person, face to face, or dial a phone number. Listeners out there, especially if you are under the age of 30, when's the last time you dialed a phone number? All right?
It's wild, man. Well, it's funny because like I'm always on the phone. Like you'll see me like out in public, and you'll always see me on a phone call.
Oh, you're like
I
that
make it a
character
point.
from Cyberpunk there. The guy's literally a mirror of you. It's
Oh,
Stanley, I think.
my doppelganger.
Yeah.
Um,
They put you in the
it's-
game. How'd they do that?
I've always been like that though. Like I was the kind of dude where it's like like when it's on my time, if I'm not not feeling like talking to somebody, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just cool, playing a video game or I'm doing whatever, right? And when
Oh,
when I
God.
am talking, it's good.
We are on another tangent, man. I do
Oh
want
yeah,
to
you're
hit
good.
these advice emails,
Oh
especially
yeah,
the one
let's
from
do it.
Anna, right?
Let's do it.
So Anna introduces herself. She's been enjoying our 12 Days of Thotmas.
She's listening.
Yeah. And she listened to J Love talk about the Bama brothers.
Oh man.
So, first of all, she kind of openly wonders, like, how common is it for men and women to cheat on their husband and wife? And we've answered this question many.
It's almost
Right.
all in the modern era. Like, so Tim, let's just do like a quick little side note on that. Social media and dating apps and the internet. Would you argue that, I think I said that on a show because J Love's grandpa said that. She goes, J Love said her grandpa said the end of real relationships between men and women was the advent of the internet. And with Anna asking this question, have you noticed that like that's one of them? Because remember, everyone just swipes to get rid of somebody now, right? Like, you know what? I'm bored. I'm this. So no one works on their relationship anymore, right?
Nope.
Oh, because you have people in your DMs. I'll just replace them. Or if you're not getting what you want right now, I'll tell you, Tim, man, I need to go get this thing wet somehow. So let me go cheat on my girl. A lot of people do that. Guys do it, girls do it. Like there's just rampant cheating. Both sides are in the workforce now, right?
Yeah.
Tim, do you know what's kind of sad? Do you know that most people now spend more time with their workmates than their friends and family?
Yep.
You ever like,
Oh, yeah, I know
really let
that.
that set
I know
in?
that.
Like, seriously, ask people right now, be like this: who are you closer with? Like, who do you spend more time with? They'll tell you. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I spent time with my cousins or my this and that. I spend all my days with my work people, and you've seen this, Tim. They'll spend time at work with their peeps, right? And then they get off with their coworkers, and what do? They go out for drinks. They're still with their coworker, right?
Yep.
Hey, bro, do you play fucking Halo or you play Call of Duty? Yeah. Okay, well, what's your gamer tag? Next thing you know, the only people that you're really conversating with are coworkers.
By the way, I need your help. I need to get you set up with Call of Duty Cold War because I'm too good. So I keep the skill based matchmaking keeps putting me in better lobbies. So I need someone who can pull me down.
Oh no, but see, I don't play first person shooters though. Yeah, I don't play first person shooters at all. The only thing I'll do first person will be I'll when Metroid
the
comes out, because
RPGs, right?
that's first person whatchamacallit, first person exploring. But yeah, go back to Anna. So Anna said, what about the Bama? Do you know what I thought you were gonna say? Honestly, she knows the Bama boys. I'm not shitting you. I was actually waiting for you to say that. I was waiting for you to like, because you're like, and so she says the Bama. I'm thinking, oh geez, please don't let this be.
Not
Not on Christmas. Not on Christmas.
Oh, anyways. So then she goes on to ask, should I be worried when I start dating? First of all, don't date. And also, yes.
But what is she worried?
I really want to get married
she asked about the
someday.
cheating.
Yeah. So she moves on from the cheating, right? Should I be worried when I start dating? Don't date. Also, yes.
Yeah, it's a part of the deal now. Like, wouldn't you agree with that? It's a part of the deal because of dating sites and social media, right?
Look, if you satisfy a man's needs, that's a tall order to ask.
What do you
right?
think? I don't think men's needs have really changed much, right? If a man gets an attractive woman who's sweet, submissive, and fulfills his needs, remember, there's only three things that you need to please a man, Tim. Every woman knows this deep down. You know what I'm saying? Keep his stomach full, balls empty, head clear. That's it. You
Yeah.
just do those three things, he will break his back for you and the family. That's it. That's
For
all you have to do.
And for God's sakes, learn how to cook. It's
Learn how to
not
cook.
hard.
It's not hard.
Not
man.
hard. Just the basics. Look, no one needs. Don't watch the Food Channel, first of all, because that's bullshit. Do not go look up Gordon Ramsay videos, because it'll just confuse you.
Right.
Just learn the basics. Know what spices and look, and it couldn't be easier, Drex. When you buy a spice for your spice rack, it tells you what it goes in. This is good for soups.
Yeah.
This is good for beef. This is good for pastas, right? Look, find 4 or 5 dishes that you can do really well. And that's all you'll ever need.
And then kind of go from there.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can order a pizza or fucking DoorDash on the off days where you're not up to it. Just don't do it too much. And I don't care. Look, I don't care eating pasta 2 times in 2 weeks. I don't mind that. If you do it well, and if it tastes good, I'll eat it as many times as you serve it.
True. I'm the same way.
All right.
I mean, like I said, dudes are pretty simple with that, but
yeah,
I've always told
and learn how to grill
this.
a steak, man. Look, it's not a science. It's more of an art form, because you can grill 2 steaks with the exact same person, the exact same conditions, have 2 different outcomes. All right.
True.
You just get a sense of it. Learn how to light a barbecue without setting your hair on fire.
You're really asking for quite a bit.
No. Learn how to start a fire. These things aren't hard to learn, right? If one of these days I got to put like a survival guide out for women. Learn these 12 things and you will please 99% of the men out there.
But here's the thing, though. But now, remember, they're strong and independent and don't need no man, right?
Well,
So,
look, we're giving people practical advice. If you're a
uh,
woman listening to this and you want practical advice, learn how to cook. Look, nothing is more embarrassing than coming home to a burnt roux. That's for you, Nick.
oh goodness. Well, you know, though,
Okay.
I told Anna when we talked to her that one of the so you wind up being in the bad boat on both sides of the spectrum, right? So in one hand, if you're a quality dude now, you look around, you're like, man, there's basically no marriageable women. Do you know they did a study? 82% of men said there's no marriageable women now. Do you know that?
Yeah.
82%.
It's okay.
Now,
50% of them are beta cucks anyway, so I don't consider
right?
them competition.
But I mean, you look at the situation as a dude, and remember, and the laws are so bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Look, yours are worse in Canada than they are here. And you know how horrible it is in America.
I
And
do get the unfortunate advantage, though, that reserve
oh yeah, you,
advantage.
you do have a little get out of jail free card. But
I
you,
do.
you look at the big picture, right? And a guy goes, I can't take the risk. So now you have so what ends up happening is so many quality men are off the market and they're not coming back. So this is like I do feel for the Annas of the world. Like I said, girls who are they want to get married, they want to have kids, they want to do it the right way. But it's like, I'm sorry to tell you, honey, but it's gonna be so tough. Think about it's gonna be just as tough as asking that dude to be like, do you really want to pull the trigger on one of these modern women? She has all of the leverage of the family court if you
Yeah.
pull that trigger and get married, right? And have kids. So this is where we're at. So it's like, and remember, and you know this, Tim, the system's not gonna change, right? System's not changing anytime soon.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna keep just trying to destroy men. So yeah, like I said, I really like Anna. Yeah, I've always said she has the best voice I've ever heard. Nice girl, but it's like I hope she understands just how toxic the dating culture is. And there is no easy answer. I mean, Tim, can you think of any answer that you would give a 22-year-old woman, an attractive
Yes,
22-year-old woman?
Anna, hit me up. I'm open.
Yeah.
No. Don't. First of all, never, ever hit up an online celebrity. Don't send him your nudes. You'll just regret it. Most online people are pretty fucking broken people. Look at the Ryan Haywood situation. Look at the Vic Mignogna situation, right? These
Yeah.
like 18, possibly underage 17-year-old girls hitting them up. These con sluts, right? Trying to hook up with someone because they're famous.
Yep.
Look, if no one respects that woman, not a damn person. So don't be that person. This is again practical advice for the women out there. Just because someone's famous, don't hit them up and show the desperation.
Yep.
All right? Meet people the old-fashioned way. Go for a fucking walk. Is it so hard?
Here's the thing. So I half agree with you, Tim. I do. I half agree with you. And the reason why I say only half is because guys have adapted, man. I mean, you and I have talked about this, and I talked about this with Dollhouse Phil. How many guys do you really hear out there saying, "Oh yeah, man, I sure want to get married," and other than like the beta male simp, right?
Yeah.
Do you really hear? Think about. Do you hear any other guy saying, "I'm trying to really date"? Otherwise, aren't guys just like, "I'm just going to smash" because they know it's all bullshit now, right?
Yeah. She ends her email with, "Sorry, it's a bit long and rambly." Well, you know what? Sorry, we're a bit long and rambly.
Oh, I am glad that like I kid you not. There are certain people that when they say like I'm enjoying Thotmas, I'm like, You do?" And that was my reaction to Mama Vic
They
reaching out. I
are
will never forget that day.
they
That,
are
that was like one of those
entertaining.
like, what the fuck?
They are definitely entertaining.
Oh man. Yeah,
You
I'm
shouldn't be
shocked at our
surprised about that.
audience. I'm always shocked when I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked when
Okay.
there's anyone in the female audience that I don't know personally who's like, I'm a fan. Really?
Yeah, well,
Oh shit.
guess what? So the next email is a fucking book written by a gentleman out of Scotland.
Mm.
He says, shout out if you ever come up to the UK, should meet up. But
Well, I will when I see.
I don't know if I'll ever go to
Dollhouse Will.
Scotland. They kind of fucked up with their,
They're full cuck now, man.
Yeah, I
They
don't know if I'll
cucked
go to
out.
Scotland. You'll have to come
Yeah.
down to us. You know what? Come hang out
I mean,
with Dollhouse
I may
Phil
go
and
just
the
to see
rest
the
of us.
castles and shit. Like see it and be like, okay, that's Scotland. Saw the
Oh.
castle and then turn around and leave.
We got to do one of those, like, the ghost hunter stuff. Like, go to one of those castles at the middle, in the
Right.
middle of the night. All right, because look, I'm a very stoic person when it comes to that kind of stuff. It takes a lot to scare me. If I can hold it together in there, I don't know.
You gotta get to that Waverly Hills Sanatorium. That'd be like a great fan meet, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we'll
That'd be
we'll
awesome.
think of. Anyways, he sent me a goddamn book, but it was about the the young black kid who called in, or emailed in. Called. We'll do voicemail eventually, but not right now. Emailed in saying he's taking care of his elderly mother.
Yeah.
Right. So, this gentleman here's got a very long-winded story. I'll forward it to you. You can have a look, but at the very end, he says that his advice to other men in this situation is simple: get out and leave. Taking care of elderly mothers is the responsibility of her husband and your father, and if for any reason he isn't around, then your mother needs to be in a full-time state care facility who will take care of her illness properly. Yes, and yes. It underscores such an important point. There are people who need the protection of the state. All right?
Yeah.
Single moms is one of them. But
they don't need it. But I know what you mean.
No, they need it. They're fucked otherwise. Look, if you leave them to their own devices, they get even worse.
Go open an OnlyFans. There's lots of simps.
Anyways, first of all, they have doctors. You're not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Even if you are, you have your own patients to take care of, right?
Yep.
But most people, you're not a doctor. So someone is best taken care of by someone who has medical expertise when you're dealing with a condition or an illness, right? He goes on to say that people will try to shame you. Your mother took care of you. You're a bad son.
Never listen to
shaming
shame.
language is just a cover for insecurity. You're not brave enough to do it yourself, so you're going to shame everyone else.
I've always said that, by the way.
You remember that story of that kid? His beta dad, right?
Which dude?
The kid who emailed in and said his beta dad was like harping on him for being a Trump supporter, and he tried to leave, and his dad said, you're breaking
his
up
mom,
the
like,
family.
secretly, he had the sister who was harping on him too.
Remember that story? Yeah, that's exactly him. The father shaming the kid into not leaving is the substitute for his own insecurity.
Absolutely.
Right? He didn't have the balls to be like, you know what? I want to be the change the world. I want to see I want to do the change that I want to see in the world. Whatever.
He just demands that other people do it for him.
There's a fucking slogan in there somewhere. Guys, pick it out. I fucked it up. Anyways, and he can't go grab life by the horn. And so he's going to shame everyone else who tries.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
it's just
I told you about the guy who sent in the conspiracy theory stuff.
He told me about it. So what the hell is going on with that?
I'm gonna have to forward that one to you because there's a lot in there. Someone wrote in also saying that talking about the thought in high school who gave your brothers the happy ending.
Yeah.
Saying that there's a lot of messed up people, because they get diddled or abused when they're kids, and they're just fucked up and broken. So they're doing shit at like single digits, right, in school.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a story I think I can repeat on air. Also, it's pretty. Anyways, the thing I wanted to pick out of this email, one of the girls he was messing around with, her dad found out, and then she like blamed it all on him, so he became labeled a sex offender as a kid.
Well, here's the thing: females don't take accountability for anything ever. They've never done anything wrong, ever. Literally, here's the thing: I got a little question for the guys out there. For all you guys watching, just put in the comments section of this wonderful Christmas stream if a woman has ever apologized, like a sincere apology, just once in your life, have they apologized or said that I messed up, I did it, I did something wrong, not well, someone made me do it, or I was just drunk, or whatever story it is, right? Just once. That's all I'm asking for. Just once in your life.
So I'm rereading this email. Man, I've just got to forward it to you. Look up the creation of the Space Force and pay attention to the creation date. Look up the drone sightings over Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska. Notice the dates. Look up TR-3, what is that, B or 8? Look up on YouTube, UFO destroys Taliban base in Afghanistan.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll have to check it out.
Buddy, send us more, man. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
Look,
I actually like that.
I don't always look. You would view me. I'm one of the sheep. I'm one of the programmed ones. They got to me. Whatever. All right, but I've said this before. I can have a real conversation with someone who thinks the moon was faked, that the Earth is flat. Right? I do genuinely like this stuff. Send it in. All right. You may not always get a sympathetic ear from me because I have to. Hey, look. Here's this for some subliminal messaging.
I can get behind basically everything but their flat Earth. The flat Earth is the only thing I can't get behind, just because if something is flat, there has to be a fall off point, right?
Yeah. Again. Like, wait, look, I know the Earth's flat. Again, look,
it kills me.
I'm reaching out to you, listener. All right.
Yeah, I like you said, I would love to hear like like I said, I'm like you, I'm in your boat. If someone has something that they wanna talk about, like even if you could be mocked or ridiculed. I've been mocked and ridiculed my whole fucking life. So
Yeah,
if you have
we know
some
where you're coming
story or
from.
some theory that you think that is
And I can't
pertinent,
I can't prove you're wrong. I
yeah, true.
cannot absolutely 1000% prove you're wrong. I
Yep,
know that. And it doesn't matter to me. I'll still take it with a grain of salt that I take everything in life, right?
of course.
No, absolutely to you, the listener who wrote this email. They can't get to me if they think I'm one of them. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You got me,
Hmm.
fam? All right. That's going to wrap up the emails for today. Let's just do a quick wrap up. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah. A little late
Whatever the
for
hell
that
you
one.
celebrate, like you know what, and that's something.
Happy
that needs to
Kwanzaa.
yeah.
You know what? Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Right?
Is it too much to
Yeah.
just say both?
Man, I don't care, man. I just I guess I'm just one of those guys, man. Even if you celebrate nothing, it's still great.
Yeah. I say Merry Christmas. I'm not a
Yeah.
follower of Christ. I'm not Catholic, right? I'm not Christian. Not really anything.
Santa Claus always had a great ring to it. Always. Just something about the fat jolly dude in red who has reindeer. So that always just it worked for me. Just worked for me as a
Uh,
kid.
anyways, thank you everyone for listening. We are 1 month into this endeavor, right? Our 4th episode. Bonus episode 1 comes out if you're on Patreon or Subscribestar at the $5 level or higher. Listen to it. It was a lot of fun recording it. It's a lot of fun listening to it again as I mix and edit it. Nick and Ken Jennings. We'll have Ken back on. Nick and Ken Jennings were great guests. That's where I make the majority of my announcements is through our Parlor account, or through the Discord, right? So getting access to the Discord just keeps you on the down low. You know what we're up to. You know when we're recording.
Smooth. Yeah. We'll catch up with our main man, Dollhouse Phil, for the new
Yeah.
year and all that stuff.
We'll see
So,
if he's
yeah,
down for like a New Year's stream.
Yeah. I'm always down. Like I love that guy.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I don't know. Again, for those listening, I don't know if Super Chat functionality will be enabled by then. We'll figure something out.
Oh yeah, we'll get it all figured out, man. We appreciate everybody who's been supporting the channel thus far. I'm very, like I said, I'm very humbled by the whole thing. When you find out people are listening to us in different countries and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
people enjoy your content. It's great. It's a great feeling to know that there's people out there that listen to it.
if someone came up and told me, hey, Tim, you're going to get shouted out by Coach Greg Adams before Christmas, I'd be like,
Yeah, I would say
no
no way.
fucking way.
Yeah, I would say no way. No
Like,
way, no.
I know it was a super chat, but still, you know.
Yeah. Someone still like brought it to his attention, and
Yeah, he read it out, but then he said it again after he finished reading it because he understand. Not everyone understands why we named it Migtown Podcast. First of all, I'll take a second to explain it. It's the phonetic pronunciation of Migtown, right?
Mm-hmm.
So actually, as whenever I do a branding standard, I capitalize the acronym MGTOW, and I leave the I and the N as small letters. So when you see that, whenever we get an official logo done for the show, you will see that it should be a little clearer where the name MGTOwn comes from.
Well, plus I think the algorithm picks it up too. I think the algorithm picks it up. Like I know a lot of content creators were put like a lot of guys like Joker from Better Bachelor is great at this, where he dances around a lot of words that can get him in hot water.
The flag
right?
words. Yeah.
Yeah. He starts saying like struggle snuggle, and then, like because at first I was kind of like, what? I'm like, this guy was in the service. I know that's not how he talks, and he'll say, he goes, yeah, because if I don't say it like this, I'll end up in YouTube jail. I'm like, damn, and it happened to Donovan Sharp, and yeah, that part is unfortunate though when you think about it. Like we've reached a level of censorship where now people can't even just like.
Yeah, we've got to
Seriously.
encode our language.
Yeah. You're coding like basic stuff though. Like think about it. Twitch banned simp,
Yep.
right?
Oh, we didn't. Man, we haven't even talked about that.
Oh well, I did talk about it briefly.
Yeah,
on,
you did do it on
the
Nick's
Nick
show.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways.
how ridiculous is that?
Anyways, we'll see you next week, everyone. 2021.
We'll see you guys. Hope you had a great Christmas. Yep. Have a good one, y'all.
Stay frosty.